The Bat Signal is coming soon. The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, will ultimately be released in 2022. In an August 2020 trailer for the superhero picture, written and directed by Matt Reeves, fans first saw the Twilight actor's somber take on the comic book character. Pattinson's young Bruce Wayne is an emo youngster who wears smeared black eyeliner and listens to Nirvana while seeking vengeance for the loss of his parents in the almost 3-minute teaser. Who the hell are you supposed to be? A man asks. After beating him up, Pattinson's Batman responds, "I'm vengeance." Since Lewis Wilson first wrote the outfit for 1943's Batman, the Lighthouse star is the 13th actor to play the Caped Crusader. Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Ben Affleck, and Christian Bale from The Dark Knight join the roster of past Batman. Pattinson is, on the other hand, intended to give Bruce Wayne's alter ego a fresh look. With just that, we know you're also excited and eager to know more about the movie. So, without further ado, here are 10 things you must know for the Batman 2022 movie. Let's get started. Number 10. The release date. The release date for Batman has been pushed back several times. Originally scheduled to open on June 25, 2021, the film's release was postponed until October 1, 2021 due to the coronavirus pandemic. The film was forced to cease production and reschedule its theatrical release date when a team member was diagnosed with COVID-19 in September 2020. The film will be released on March 4th, 2022. To be exact, this is the first solo Batman feature in a decade, with The Dark Knight Rises releasing in 2012, the longest Bat film absence since the Tim Burton Batman. Number 9. Robert Pattinson almost didn't end up being Batman. Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult, who played Beast in the X-Men movie, were on filmmaker Matt Reeves' Batman wish list in May 2019. After significant uproar on social media, Pattinson was cast as Batman a few weeks later. It's been a rocky hunt for the next Batman, and with Ben Affleck's exit at the time, there was no news about casting for the role for a very long time. Rumors swirled that Oscar Isaac was tied to the job, which he eventually dispelled, although he claimed he'd be willing to take on the role if it was presented to him. At one point, Armie Hammer, a fan favorite for the part, was also considered a possibility. However, given the age restriction and his busy schedule, it doesn't appear like he'll be donning the cape and cowl. Number 8. Catwoman's relationship with Batman. Zoe Kravitz, well known for her roles in High Fidelity, Big Little Lies, the Divergent trilogy, X-Men First Class, and others, has been cast as Catwoman in a trailer for The Batman. Not only does Batman refer to her as Selina, but she also makes a slew of cat allusions. When Batman mentions that she has a lot of cats, she responds, "I have a thing with strays." And she claims that she has 9 lives. She also believes that the name The Bat and the Cat has a good ring to it. However, the relationship between Batman and Catwoman appears to be extremely convoluted, as seen by the teaser. They appear to be poised to kiss all of the time, and everything she says to him suggests she's flirting with him. However, there is a scene where Alfred asks him if he has a new buddy, to which he responds by saying he isn't sure. The friendship between these two, on the other hand, is evident to be a crucial secondary storyline to the Batman. This type of interaction, of course, makes sense and is consistent with the comics. Both Batman and Catwoman are intended to be imperfect characters who aren't always the best at maintaining healthy relationships with others. When these two things are combined, it generates a highly perplexing, even painful scenario in which we all know they both desire each other, but they refuse to truly commit to one another. Number 7. The inspiration for the movie. Very much a point-of-view driven noir Batman tale, Reeves told The Hollywood Reporter in January 2019, describing the newest Caped Crusader picture as an origin story that will be exhilarating, but also heartbreaking. A spoiler-free narrative was not revealed, but the Let Me In director stated that the movie is a lot more about Batman in detective mode than we've seen in the movies. This would be one of those stories where, as we go on that journey of hunting down crooks and attempting to solve a crime, his character has an arc and can undergo a metamorphosis. Number 6. The Batman 2022 is not part of the DC Extended Universe. During a conversation with Ben Affleck over the director's chair, Reeves fought for the film's independence, according to the newest edition of Empire via /film, underscoring how absolute creative freedom was the only way to drive Batman to his emotional edge. Meanwhile, as Batman vs. Superman and Justice League were setting the tone for the DC Extended Universe, Ben Affleck, who played Batman in both films, was poised to helm a standalone Batman film. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke and Batgirl were rumored to be in Affleck's film, but it was shelved after he stepped down as director, giving the job to Reeves. Reeves, who was in charge of the Batman solo film, requested total independence from Affleck and Warner Brothers because being tied to a larger world would prohibit him from exploring the vigilante tale through more personal lenses. In order to keep the focus on Batman's emotional journey, Reeves didn't want to feel forced to link to the other films, according to Empire. Consequently, the project became a semi-origin narrative, complete with an addition of a new star, allowing it to explore new areas of DC mythology. Dylan Kark, the producer of Batman, describes it thus way. Warner Brothers has a multiverse where they're exploring different ways to use the character. We don't get involved in that. Matt is interested in pushing this character to his emotional depths and shaking him to his core. Number 5. The film's budget. It is unknown whether Warner Brothers would provide budgetary estimates for the Batman, although early sources place the film's budget at under $100 million, which is incredibly low for a Batman feature. For comparison, Batman Returns, which cost $80 million in 1992, has the lowest production cost for a Batman picture since Batman Returns. Number 4. The antagonist in the movie. Despite the teaser's efforts to avoid exposing Paul Dano's face, the actor's presence can be felt throughout the Batman's second trailer. That's because the famous actor of There Will Be Blood Prisoners will play Edward Nashton, also known as the Riddler, the main villain of the Batman. Dano's rendition of the Riddler, like many of the Batman's characters, promises to be a considerably darker perspective than comic book fans are used to. The creator of Dano's Nashton is expected to be a dangerous opponent, one who appears to be capable of wreaking great mayhem over all of Gotham City from inside the confines of a jail cell, thanks to infamous real-life monsters such as the Zodiac Murderer. Number 3. The writer for the movie. Peter Craig, who previously penned Top Gun: Maverick and Bad Boys for Life, co-wrote The Batman with Matt Reeves. Affleck wrote the script for Warner Brothers' forthcoming solo Batman feature, which focused on re-establishing the Dark Knight as the world's best detective, with a low-key focus. Following the critical and box office failures of Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, Warner decided to start over in a DCEU that was already jumbled in terms of cohesion. Affleck's script was rewritten by Reeves. Affleck, who was previously set to direct and appear in the forthcoming Batman film, hasn't written anything for it. Number 2. The Batman 2022 won't be retelling the origin story. The Batman, on the other hand, isn't going to be a retelling of the well-known origin story. I wanted to do not an origin tale, but a tale that would still acknowledge his origins in that it formed who he is. Director Matt Reeves stated in an interview for Nerdist, "What proof do you have for that strategy? It's best visible in the Batsuit teaser, which features what looks to be a Batman logo formed from gun components. What if this is the same weapon that killed Bruce's parents in Crime Alley?" 3 comic books that inspired the film have also been revealed. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Batman: The Long Halloween, Darwin Cook's Batman: Ego and Other Tales, and Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's Batman: Year One are among them. Year One is an origin narrative for both Batman and Catwoman that concerns corruption in the GCPD, while The Long Halloween is a detective story with a wide range of antagonists. While Bruce tries to retire as Batman, ego sees him split his psyche between man and vigilante. Bruce's sentiments about his failings are revealed when both parts of his personality participate in a dispute. These elements appear to be in accordance with what the teaser video suggests: a gloomy, psychological, and grounded detective story. We can also expect an emotional connection between Alfred and Bruce. Alfred, actor Andy Serkis told LAD Bible, that's really at the center of it. Number 1. The director's inspiration for the movie was from a rock star. In December 2021, Reeves told Empire, "When I write, I listen to music, and when I was writing the first act, I put on Nirvana's Something in the Way. Instead of making Bruce Wayne the Playboy version we've seen previously, I realized there was another Bruce Wayne who had suffered a huge sorrow and had become a hermit. The concept of this fictitious Kurt Cobain living in this type of crumbling house appealed to me, so I started drawing this comparison to Gus Van Sant's Last Days." The director added that Pattinson had the Kurt Cobain thing, where he looks like a rock star, but you also feel like he could be a recluse. Which of these facts were new to you, and which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comment section down below. We hope you guys liked this video. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.